When life feels like a storm, Nuh alayhi salam shows us the secret. Begin with Bismillah and trust Allah through every wave and pause. In our lives as believers and as leaders, we come across times where, despite maybe even knowing what the right thing to do is, we are uncertain about the results. And that can be a tremendously unsettling experience. That sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us with clarity, this is the right thing to do, here's what has to happen, and you know that you're the person for the job. But how things are going to turn out is not something that you have any idea what it's going to look like. This is a situation that Nuh alayhi salam was in as well. And his story is very, very instructive. One of the most difficult things that he had to face in his life, in addition to the opposition of his own son to his message, in addition to calling his people for hundreds of years and them still refusing to follow him, in addition to building an ark and having everybody mock him and treat him like he was crazy because he was planning for something that nobody else could see. That was already hard enough. But then actually taking his first steps on that boat, and can imagine when the rain was coming down and the water levels were rising and the boat lifts up onto the water off of the earth, it would have been a very, very scary thing. What's going to happen? How long are we going to be here? Where are we going to land? What are we going to do when all of this is over? When will it be over? We see that Nuh alayhi salam, he remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in these moments. And when he's stepping aboard and when the ark is about to take off, he says, Bismillahi majreha wa mursaha, inna rabbi laghafurur rahim. Nuh alayhi salam remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and says Bismillah even in his moment of uncertainty. He knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought him this far and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't abandon him. This happens to us where we know that this job has to be done, we're the person to do it, we involve ourselves in the work, we show up whether it's to the town hall meeting or to the protest, or we show up at work, or we do what we have to do, but at the end of the day, the results escape us. We don't know what type of opposition we're going to face. We don't know what's going to happen. We recently had our brother Sami Hamdi, who was detained by ICE. For all he knew, he was going from one talk to another talk across the country, doing what he's always done so eloquently and so well. But all of a sudden now, his life is turned upside down and he's in a detention center and nobody knows what's going to happen from this. But in those moments, we trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deliver us. Every single one of us, as it were, is on our own type of ark. We could even imagine our lives are almost like riding a boat down a river. We don't know when the ride is going to end. We don't know what type of rapids or rocks we're going to hit. But we do know that just like Nuh alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who told us to get on this boat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's guiding us through the river. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who entrusted us with this mission. And it might take us in unexpected places, just like Yusuf alayhi salam, who had a dream, and the dream ended up taking him in many, many unexpected detours, what we would experience as detours, that were all essential to getting to the final destination. Being thrown down the well, being sold into slavery, being bought by the Aziz, being accused of wrongdoing, being imprisoned unjustly. All of that had to happen to get to the final destination that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intended for him. And so for us, if we want to be able to make it to the final destination that Allah intended for us, if we have built our own ark and we had enough clarity to see from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what that ark should be, what it should look like, when we step aboard that ark and we remove our last little bit of control, we say Bismillah, we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He's the one that is guiding our steps and He's the one that's going to see us through to the end. And we try to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that not only do we have His blessing for as it's happening, but we remember to be grateful as it's unfolding as well. that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never abandons us, and so we should never abandon the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.